Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Business English Podcast. I'm Tom.
And I'm Mary. We're thrilled to have you join us today for another episode focused on improving your business English skills.
Today's topic is something many people dream about, but often feel is out of reach: getting rich.
That's right, but instead of just dreaming, we're going to explore practical habits that can actually help you build wealth.
So let me ask you something right off the bat. Have you ever wondered what truly separates those who become financially successful from those who don't?
It's a question that's probably crossed everyone's mind at some point, especially when thinking about our careers and futures.
Exactly. And it's not always about luck or inheritance. Often, it boils down to consistent habits.
Indeed, that's why today we're diving into how to get rich. 5 habits to become rich.
We think this topic is super important because understanding wealth creation isn't just about money. It's about understanding financial principles, making smart decisions, and ultimately achieving greater financial freedom. And of course, we'll be doing it all in English, helping you boost your business vocabulary and listening skills at the same time.
Precisely. In this episode, we'll break down 5 key habits. We'll discuss why each habit is crucial, look at real-world examples, and give you actionable tips you can start using today.
And to help you even more, we've included 2 English lesson segments where we'll unpack useful vocabulary and idioms from our discussion.
So here's what's coming up. First, we'll jump into the 5 habits themselves. Then, we'll have our first English lesson. After that, we'll share some practical tips on how to apply these habits in your own life, followed by another English lesson. And finally, we'll wrap things up with a summary and some closing thoughts.
Remember, learning is most effective when you're actively involved. So after listening, we really encourage you to share your thoughts and any habits you think are important in the comment section below.
Yes, let's learn from each other and build a supportive community. And if you find this podcast helpful, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on future episodes. Let's get started and explore these 5 wealth-building habits together.
Okay, so let's get right into it. How to get rich. 5 habits to become rich. It sounds like a big promise, right?
It does, but it's important to clarify what rich means. For some, it might mean having millions. For others, it's about financial security and freedom to choose. We're focusing on building sustainable wealth over time, not get-rich-quick schemes.
Exactly. And these habits are about building a solid foundation for long-term financial success. We've broken it down into 5 key areas. First, we're going to talk about saving and investing early.
Then we'll move on to increasing your income. Following that, we'll discuss living below your means. Next up is continuous learning and skill development, and to do. And finally, we'll cover networking and building relationships.
Sounds comprehensive, doesn't it? These aren't just random ideas. These are habits consistently seen in people who have achieved significant financial success.
Absolutely. Think about it. In today's world, financial literacy is more important than ever. The economy is constantly changing, and understanding how to manage and grow your money is crucial. We see so many examples of people who are highly educated and work hard, but still struggle financially because they haven't adopted these fundamental habits.
You're spot on. Take, for example, the trend of early retirement. More and more people are aiming to retire early, and that requires smart financial planning from a young age. Or consider the rise of entrepreneurship. Starting your own business can be a path to wealth, but it also comes with financial risks and requires a solid understanding of money management.
Precisely. So let's start with the first habit: saving and investing early. This is really about the power of compounding.
Yes, compounding interest is like magic, but it's actually just math. Basically, when you invest early, your money starts earning returns, and then those returns also start earning returns. It's a snowball effect.
That's a great analogy. The earlier you start, the bigger the snowball gets over time. Even small amounts saved regularly from a young age can grow significantly over decades.
Think about someone who starts investing in their 20s versus someone who waits until their 40s. The person who started earlier will likely have a much larger nest egg by retirement, even if they invested less overall each month.
Exactly. And it's not just about saving, it's about investing wisely. This could mean investing in stocks, bonds, real estate, or even starting a business. Diversification is also key to manage risk.
Right, don't put all your eggs in one basket, as they say. Now, the second habit, increasing your income, is also crucial. Saving and investing are important, but there's a limit to how much you can save.
Indeed, to really accelerate wealth building, you need to increase your earning potential. This could involve getting promotions at work, changing careers to higher-paying fields, starting a side hustle, or developing valuable skills that are in high demand.
Think about the gig economy. Many people are now supplementing their income through freelance work, online businesses, or consulting. This proactive approach to income generation can make a huge difference.
Absolutely, and it ties into our third habit, living below your means. It doesn't matter how much you earn if you spend it all, or even worse, spend more than you earn.
That's right, living below your means is about spending less than you make and avoiding lifestyle inflation. It's about being mindful of your expenses and prioritizing saving and investing.
It's not about being cheap, but about being conscious of where your money is going. Tracking your expenses, budgeting, and making smart purchasing decisions are all part of this habit.
Precisely. And this brings us to the fourth habit, continuous learning and skill development. The world is constantly evolving, especially in the business world. To stay relevant and increase your earning potential, you need to be a lifelong learner.
Totally. This could involve taking online courses, reading books, attending workshops, or even just staying updated on industry trends. Developing new skills makes you more valuable in the job market and opens up new opportunities.
Think about the rapid advancements in technology. Skills that were in high demand just a few years ago might be less relevant now. Continuously learning and adapting is essential for long-term career and financial success.
You nailed it. And finally, the fifth habit, networking and building relationships. Your network is your net worth, as they say.
Yes, building strong relationships with people in your industry and beyond can open doors to new opportunities, collaborations, and valuable insights.
Networking isn't just about collecting business cards. It's about building genuine connections, offering value to others, and nurturing relationships over time.
Exactly. Think about how many job opportunities and business deals come through personal connections. Networking is a powerful tool for career advancement and wealth creation.
So to recap, the 5 habits are saving and investing early, increasing your income, living below your means, continuous learning and skill development, and networking and building relationships. Mastering these habits can significantly improve your financial future.
All right, let's dive into our first English lesson and unpack some useful vocabulary and idioms from our discussion about the 5 habits.
Great idea, Tom. First up, let's look at compounding interest. We use this when talking about saving and investing early.
Yes, compounding interest. Basically, it's interest calculated on the initial principal and also on the accumulated interest of previous periods. In simpler terms, it's earning interest on your interest.
Exactly. Imagine you deposit $100 in a savings account with 5% annual compounding interest. After the first year, you earn $5 in interest, so you have $105. In the second year, you earn 5% on $105, not just $100, so you earn $5.25. And this continues to grow faster over time.
Here's a sentence. The power of compounding interest is a key reason why saving early is so important for long-term wealth.
Perfect. Next, let's look at nest egg. We mentioned this when talking about retirement savings.
Nest egg is a colloquial term for a sum of money that has been saved, especially for retirement. Think of it like a bird's nest where it keeps its eggs safe.
So it's your savings for the future, particularly for when you stop working. For example, she has been diligently building her nest egg so she can retire comfortably.
Good example. Moving on, let's talk about diversification. We mentioned this in the context of investing.
Diversification in finance means spreading your investments across different asset classes to reduce risk. Instead of putting all your money in one stock, you might invest in stocks, bonds, and real estate.
It's like not putting all your eggs in one basket again. A sentence could be, financial advisors often recommend diversification to minimize investment risk.
Right, now let's look at lifestyle inflation. We talked about this when discussing living below your means.
Lifestyle inflation refers to the tendency for your spending to increase when your income increases. As you earn more, you might start spending more on non-essential things, which can hinder your wealth-building goals.
You start earning more, so you upgrade your car, move to a bigger apartment, eat out more often, and so on. Example: he experienced lifestyle inflation after getting a promotion and found it hard to save more money.
Exactly. And finally, for this lesson, let's look at side hustle. We mentioned this when discussing increasing your income.
A side hustle is a part-time job or business undertaken in addition to one's regular employment, typically for supplemental income.
It's a way to earn extra money outside of your main job. For example, many people start a side hustle to pay off debt or save for a down payment on a house.
These are all really useful terms for business English learners. Understanding these concepts is not only good for your English, but also for your financial literacy.
Okay, so we've talked about the 5 habits. Now let's get into some practical tips on how our listeners can actually implement these habits in their daily lives.
Sounds great, Tom. Let's start with saving and investing early. A really practical tip here is to automate your savings.
Absolutely. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings or investment account each month. Even small amounts, done consistently, make a big difference thanks to compounding.
Another tip is to take advantage of employer-sponsored retirement plans if you have access to one. Many companies offer matching contributions, which is essentially free money.
That's like turning down free money if you don't participate. And for investing, especially for beginners, consider starting with low-cost index funds or ETFs. They are diversified and relatively easy to understand.
Exactly. Now moving on to increasing your income. A key tip here is to identify and develop in-demand skills. Think about what skills are valuable in today's job market and invest in learning them.
Online learning platforms like Coursera, Udemy, and LinkedIn Learning offer tons of courses to upgrade your skills. And don't underestimate the power of networking for finding new opportunities.
You're right. Attend industry events, join professional organizations, and actively connect with people on LinkedIn. Building relationships can lead to unexpected income-generating opportunities.
And for living below your means, a simple but effective tip is to track your expenses. Use a budgeting app or even just a spreadsheet to see where your money is going.
Once you know where your money is going, you can identify areas where you can cut back. Small changes, like brewing coffee at home instead of buying it every day, can add up over time.
And consider the 30-day rule for non-essential purchases. If you want to buy something that isn't a necessity, wait 30 days before buying it. Often you'll find you don't really need it.
That's a great way to curb impulse buying. Now for continuous learning and skill development. Make learning a regular habit. Set aside time each week for reading, online courses, or practicing new skills.
Listen to podcasts like this one. And read industry blogs and newsletters to stay updated on trends. Make learning part of your routine, like exercising or brushing your teeth.
Precisely. And for networking and building relationships, be proactive in reaching out to people you admire or who are in fields you're interested in. Offer to help them or ask for advice.
Don't just ask for things. Focus on building genuine relationships by offering value first. Attend networking events with a goal of making meaningful connections, not just collecting contacts.
And remember to follow up with people you meet. Send a personalized message after an event or meeting to stay in touch and nurture the relationship.
These practical tips, when consistently applied, can really help our listeners build these 5 wealth-building habits into their lives.
Fantastic practical tips, Tom. Now let's move on to our second English lesson and look at some more useful vocabulary and idioms from our discussion on practical tips.
Sounds good, Mary. Let's start with automate. We talked about automating savings.
Automate means to convert a process or facility to be operated automatically. In the context of finance, it means setting up systems to automatically handle tasks like saving or investing.
For example, automating your savings makes it easier to consistently save money without having to manually transfer funds each month.
Next up, let's look at employer-sponsored. We use this with retirement plans.
Employer-sponsored means arranged or supported by an employer, especially in terms of benefits like retirement plans or health insurance.
So it's benefits that your company offers to its employees. Example, take advantage of employer-sponsored retirement plans as they often include company matching contributions.
Great, moving on. Let's talk about index funds. We mentioned these as a good starting point for investing.
Index funds are a type of mutual fund or ETF designed to track a specific market index, like the S&P 500. They offer broad market exposure and are generally low cost.
They are a simple way to invest in a diversified portfolio. Sentence. Index funds are a popular choice for beginner investors due to their diversification and low fees.
Right, now let's look at in-demand skills. We talked about developing these to increase income.
In-demand skills are skills that are currently highly sought after by employers in the job market. These skills are valuable because they increase your earning potential and job opportunities.
Think of skills like digital marketing, data analysis, or software development right now. Example: focusing on developing in-demand skills can significantly boost your career prospects.
Exactly. And finally, for this lesson, let's look at curb impulse buying. We mentioned this with the 30-day rule.
To curb something means to restrain or control it. Impulse buying is the act of purchasing items on a whim, without planning or careful consideration. So, curb impulse buying means to control the habit of buying things impulsively.
It's about stopping yourself from making unplanned purchases. Example: the 30-day rule is an effective strategy to curb impulse buying and save money.
Again, these are all really valuable English phrases to add to your business vocabulary, and understanding them helps you navigate financial discussions more confidently.
All right, we've covered a lot today. Let's quickly summarize the key takeaways from our discussion on how to get rich, 5 habits to become rich.
Definitely, we talked about 5 essential habits: saving and investing early, increasing your income, living below your means, continuous learning and skill development, and networking and building relationships.
And we shared practical tips for each habit, like automating savings, developing in-demand skills, tracking expenses, making learning a habit, and building genuine connections.
We also unpacked 10 useful English vocabulary and idioms across 2 English lesson segments, including terms like compounding interest, nest egg, diversification, lifestyle inflation, side hustle, automate, employer-sponsored, index funds, in-demand skills, and curb impulse buying.
We really hope this podcast has provided you with valuable insights and practical steps you can take to improve your financial future and boost your business English skills at the same time.
Yes, remember that building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes time, consistency, and disciplined habits. But by adopting these 5 habits, you'll be well on your way to achieving greater financial security and freedom.
And we want to encourage you to start implementing these habits today, even in small ways. Every step counts.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us on the Business English Podcast. We hope you found this episode helpful and inspiring.
Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. What are your favorite wealth-building habits? We'd love to hear from you.
And if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a like and subscribe for more business English learning content. We're here to support you on your journey to success in both English and your career.
Until next time, take care and keep learning.
Goodbye.